Was Nicole Saphos and a trio that she has on her brand new CD called Tiptoe. And Custom Memories feature John Lee on guitar, Ellie Rubenstein on drums, and we have Nicole on the line. Nicole, welcome to WPFW.
Hi, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So you're doing a part of kicking off the Hill Center series that Burnett Thompson's putting on starting next week, and you'll be performing next Thursday.
Yes, next Thursday at the Hill Center from 7 to 9 p.m. I'll be there with my trio, the same trio that was on the CD, actually.
So tell us about how you got involved playing the bass, how you got involved in music, and then we'll get into your writing.
Sure. I started playing bass, I think, when I was like 11 years old in the, orchestra for my middle school band. And so I just kind of started. It was just, kind of the instrument that was left, and I figured I would play that. And then I got very into, I've always had a love for musical theater. And so I was kind of, and a lot of those tunes are, Cole Porter and Gershwin.
Sure, you have a mix of those. Like I see the Cole Porter.
Just one of those things, and
right,
Irving Berlin. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was like kind of a natural segue into jazz, and I was already playing the upright bass, so it kind of seemed like the right thing to do. And I continued doing it in high school in jazz band, and then the rest is kind of history for that.
Well, let me go back now. Since the bass is such a large instrument, and you were in middle school, what made you decide to take on that challenge?
Yeah, honestly, I know people ask me this all the time, and I was just kind of drawn to it, and I had, I guess, slightly larger hands than the average sixth grader.
Okay.
And so it was either cello or bass, and it was I might as well go for it. But yeah, I love that instrument. So.
I had a bass in my late 20s, early 30s, found I didn't have the time, discipline, or talent, and I could play records better. So,
oh yeah.
So I've been doing that. So in terms of your trio, we'll talk about the upcoming performance. But how is it making your livelihood as a musician, as a performer, in terms of your ongoing gigs and getting the CD out and stuff like that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of very fortunate to play the bass, actually, because that's kind of one of the more in-demand instruments. I was recently at a gig with Chris Funn, another amazing bass player. Yeah, I'm sure you know him.
Absolutely.
But he said this thing that I loved, that it's bass players that lead their own groups are kind of like unicorns. They're, you don't really have to do it because you can kind of get gigs without leading your own group, but it's kind of a special thing, and he does that, and I think he just had Sam Jones on, who's one of my favorite bass players as well. He leads his own, he had, his own thing and wrote a bunch of tunes as well, and it's a great, so I've always kind of loved, bass players. I love Mingus, I love Ray Brown, and so it's a kind of a cool thing to do that. I think that totally doesn't answer your question about
it does.
Sorry.
To a great degree, it does. And so you have the opportunity to play as a side person, but also you're leading your own ensemble. Mm-hmm. And I guess that leads to the question of we've been playing your original compositions, your lyrics. Mm-hmm. How do you approach your compositions?
Yeah, writing is actually still fairly new to me. I started, the first song I ever wrote was for Tiptoe, and it was Broken Ballerina. And I have 4 of my original compositions on Tiptoe. But I guess I started writing maybe like 2 years ago or so. And I tend to, I guess this would make sense, but I tend to write the top and the bottom first before filling in harmony a lot of the time. So I'll kind of figure out what I want to play on bass and what kind of like root motion I like, and then what melodies kind of make sense to me on top of that. And then, the chords are kind of interchangeable. I do a lot of arranging of old jazz standards too, so I think that's maybe where that comes from. But as long as I have the root motion in the bass and the melody that I like, it kind of comes together that way.
So tell us what you'll be doing next Thursday at the Hill Center.
Yeah, actually, at the Hill Center, I'm going to be premiering a lot of brand new music. So Tiptoe came out in November of 2016. So it came out last year. And so we'll be doing some things from Tiptoe, definitely the originals from Tiptoe, the 4 originals on that. So I'll also be doing totally brand new music for my upcoming release of an EP called Buzz and Bloom.
Okay.
So that'll be released in March, and that's funded. I got a grant from the Arts and Humanities Council of Montgomery County that's funded in part by them. So that'll be out in March.
Awesome. We're looking forward to it. Have you played at the Hill Center before?
I have not.
Oh, it's a wonderful venue. It really is what they've done with this old naval hospital that goes back to the old Civil War era, and they completely refurbished it. And I've taught jazz history courses there. My wife's had her quilts on display for the arts shows.
Oh wow!
And it's a great community arts center, and I'm glad that you're doing it. And it may be a stretch for you to make it on a Thursday night, but I want to try to make the performance next week, because I really love what they're doing, and what Burnett Thompson's been doing in terms of promoting artists and their performances in this area. It's been really remarkable.
Yeah, no, he's great. I think he had Aaron Sieber there last month, and
yes.
I know Amani will be there. I think in February. But yeah, no, he has a great lineup.
Absolutely. She'll be there on Valentine's Day, in fact.
Yeah.
So that's great. I was just looking at the schedule here. So again, your trio, tell us about your trio, and we'll get back into your music.
Sure. So my trio is, I've always really liked the kind of the sparsity of the trio. So I have guitar with the fabulous John Lee. And then I'm lucky enough to have my new husband, Ellie Rubenstein, on drums.
That's great. Yeah, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
The photos on Facebook, and that could be really wonderful, but it also it can be the gig together.
It is. Honestly, it's pretty great. I mean, just the carpool to gigs alone is wonderful. But also, he's great to play with.
Awesome. Well, Nicole, I really appreciate you calling in. And again, the Hill Center's at 9th and Pennsylvania Avenue Southeast. It's at located at the Old Washington Hospital Center. And again, next Thursday from 7:00 until 9:00, and it's part of a series that Burnett Thompson's doing at the Hill Center. So we're looking forward to the performance, and we've queued up Ladies Hips, Great Escape. Tell us.
Oh, cool! Yeah, that's a good one.
Good. So we're going to hear that, and I'm going to get into some of your other material, like Just One of Those Things, or You Don't Know What Love Is, later on in the show. But,
awesome.
So we'll
you.
Get more into it later on. Thanks again, Nicole. Nicole Saphos
so
at the Hill Center next Thursday, 7:00.
Tiptoe quiet, I'm drifting in out of my head. You're gripping, but still I'm slipping. Blink twice if you understand. I know you think I'm broken, helpless, balancing the foolish mess of reality. But that's enough of that, 'cause I've got a plan that skirts the rules of wait and see. You get to tiptoe, quick now, watch yourself avoid the cracks, breathe in, breathe out, and just relax. Tiptoe, dreaming, wind me up and ring me out. mess of reality. But that's enough of that, 'cause I've got a plan that skirts the rules of wait and see. You've got to tiptoe quick now. Watch your step, avoid the cracks. Breathe in, breathe out, and just relax. Tiptoe, screaming, wind me up and ring me out. I'm drifting in and out of my head. Blink twice if you understand.
Nicole Saphos from her recording Tiptoe in Ladies' Hips, Great Escape. That featured John Lee on guitar, Ellie Rubenstein on drums, Nicole Saphos on bass and vocals. The trio will be at the Hill Center next Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Hill Center is located at 9th and Pennsylvania Avenue Southeast. Going to continue now with another gentleman who's performing in town. Is from this area, Michael Thomas, performing at Twins, and we'll hear him at Twins. But first I want to remind you that we are looking for an online pledge tonight. I have a goal of $400 between now and midnight. Pledge online at WPFWFM.org. We have an array of thank you gifts that come up on the website when you come up to pledge, including some of the things. Oh, another pledge just came in. Another anonymous pledge from Washington, D.C. Thank you so much. So I'm really on a roll tonight. So you can check out the thank you gifts, the voices of freedom that we've been giving away, and there's some other things that are coming up that are special thank you gifts. They'll all come up on the website as we get into listening to Michael Thomas and his quintet that's been together for a while. This is Zach Grady on tenor sax, Darius Scott piano, Kent Miller on bass, and Frank Williams IV on drums. And we'll hear Michael's composition, Mike's Blues, here on WPFW 89.3. Again, pledge online, WPFWFM.org.